Okay, welcome to this stream, everybody. I'm back. So we're here. Basically, we're going to be reviewing all of the submissions that came in. I say all of them. We're going to get through as many as we can because there's quite a lot. Obviously, we're blown away by the response to the first kind of major build jam that we're going to do. So 50k build jam. So as I say, the submissions are in, the deadlines are closed. So what we're going to do tonight is we're essentially going to run through and try and look at as many of the packages as we can. Now, this isn't going to be looking at any of the showcases. We're not going to be showing off any of the kind of the major big stuff that people have been making. What I've done is essentially gone through every package and installed it into a separate world. So we're going to run through across 3 different games, but we're going to basically go through and just look through world by world at the packages and kind of give people an idea of what the packages come with the idea again that people can perhaps start thinking about what sort of games they might want to make. So there's a lot of packages here, a lot of varieties. We've got a lot of art-based packages, some code-based packages, some sort of generation packages. There's quite a lot of these that will actually work together really quite nicely. So I think this is going to be quite a good chance for everybody to almost sit with a pen and paper, start taking some notes, start thinking about some game designs and how you might utilize all these packages, not just in games, but perhaps in your own social space, in your own sort of social hub. So it's been a really successful build jam as far as we're concerned, because what we wanted was people to produce these packages that are going to be really good for people to essentially take and build bases or build these areas from. So I think we've definitely achieved that. So as I say, we're going to kick back and we're going to go through and have a look at all of these. So I'm joined this evening by Adam. So do you want to say hello?
Hey everyone.
Cool. Hopefully everyone can hear Adam okay. As always, let us know if there's any technical kind of sound or video issues. Okay, so what we'll just preface as well is it might get a little bit, there may be some issues here, we may see some kind of like slowdowns and things, and that's because the game, I've kind of cram-packed it with as many packages as I could. So if it's a little bit slow to do stuff or we see server missing occasionally, it should all kind of recover and get through okay. But yeah, we'll have to see. You have to bear with us if there are any technical issues. So let's jump straight into advanced mode, and what we'll do is, as I say, we're going to hop kind of world to world. This was a much quicker way than doing it sort of game by game, so I didn't end up with 50 different games. We've just got kind of quite a lot of worlds across the 3 games. So I guess in no particular order, as the other thing to say, that this isn't any sort of process of saying which one are our favourites or which one are the winners. This is purely just the order in which I've been through them in. So we're going to see them in a kind of a bit of a random order. And as I say, we are just kind of here highlighting so everybody gets a good chance to have an exposed look at what everybody else was up to. Saves everybody downloading everybody's package to have a look. Okay, right, so let's go into our first one here. So this is the dry cereal. So this is Dry Coast and Cereal's Treetop World. And this does have a showcase, so do make sure you head over to Discord and ask the guys for the link, or you can look. All of these are available on the forum. So if you go to the forum and search under package guides for the builder base tag, you'll get all the links you need to all the guides of how to use these packages. I'm probably going to jump in and out of those occasionally at points where I need to set specific things up. But ultimately what we're going to end up with is a pretty decent sort of look through at the packages, as I say. So, but there are some that do have a showcase to go check out as well. So first things first, Adam, what do you think to this?
Well, it's looking pretty interesting. It's quite epic, isn't it, in its size and scope. I think I saw a video that Dry Cereal shared on Discord of this, actually, where it was all a lot more dark and moody, and there was this lift thing going through the trees that looked really, really cool.
Yeah, so I think that's the showcase world. Yeah, so that's the showcase world that's definitely worth checking out. And I think AJ is actually going to be live tomorrow night. So if anyone does want to kind of not necessarily go through the showcases, but wants to see them, then do make sure you tune in tomorrow. And AJ is going to run through, and he's kind of going to go through all the share links and play all the games or play all the showcases to show them as they were there. But yeah, so as you say, epic's definitely the word. This is kind of straight out the box. I think so we'll have a look in a moment, but the way it works, you kind of end up with a base for each tree. So these are sort of 3 of the different bases that you can pick here, and then you can kind of select a kind of a topper to go on top. So is here we have like a sort of, there's a kitchen one, there's a sort of a bedroom one. If we fly in here, we can see there's some really cool kind of decoration gone inside them. So it's not just a case of a structure, but it's actually got some nice kind of decoration inside. We can see the kind of nice lighting they've put into it as well. It performs well. It's a really large structure. Kind of these large structures can sometimes have problems when it comes to kind of collision complexity and stuff like that. But this one actually kind of worked out really quite nice. And there's always the option to turn shadows off on lights and stuff if you do find it gets a little bit choppy in your game. But yeah, it's really quite cool. Let's go back here. So if we just preview this. So I did also include the lift. So you mentioned, Adam, before that there's a sort of a rope, like a rope lift type thing. So I did set that up, and that's pretty much out the box. Just kind of drag and drop in place, and it just works. Here it is coming down here. Ignore the inventory. The inventory, that's just something I got left on the player and the user from a different package. So ignore that for now.
So we don't need a bank card to access.
We don't need the bank card. No.
The trees. Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
nice smooth lift as well, using timelines.
Yeah, it works really nicely. As I say, this was literally just drag and drop out the box, place it in the world, and it worked really quite nicely.
Here we go. That does feel cool, having a lift up to such a big structure.
Now, my positioning isn't great. It just kind of pulls
you
up
positioned
to the rail. Yeah, so I've literally
I was going to say,
it.
That would be my only criticism so far, is it kind of clipped through the edge and it didn't really go to a great place.
No, I mean, I just kind of threw it in. So, as I say, just a lot of what is happening here is me just kind of quickly jumping in and testing them out and putting them down. But it hasn't necessarily, I haven't spent time trying to make everything look fantastic, because I know a lot of creators have made their own showcases. So if a lot of this is just kind of a bit hash bash thrown together, that is just kind of me processing, you know, however many packages we've got in the last however many hours I've had to do it. So do bear with me if it doesn't quite show off the amazing artistic skills. As I say, do tune in tomorrow to see the amazing showcases that people made. AJ's going to show those off. But I mean, as an out-of-the-box thing, this one worked really quite nicely, and it's a really solid, really interesting interpretation of bases. We do actually see a couple more packages that are similar sort of vibe with the sort of the treetop theme, which is really quite interesting. I never thought of like tree houses as being like a base. Yeah, that really worked quite nicely.
I think I get where the lift is supposed to go. It's meant to go through the middle of the tree, isn't it?
Oh, it probably is.
If you look in this one, there's like a square shaft that's like the right size for the lift, I think.
Oh, that's true. There's some shinies down here.
There you go.
Oh, is that like sunlight coming through the gaps? That's really cool. But yeah.
Oh wait, is this not a lift shaft? Are we now stuck?
I think we're stuck.
Oh wait, we're now stuck.
I guess it could be modified, and again, that's kind of the beauty of Crayta with the package system, is you take a copy of the package, and therefore you can now do what you like with them. So you could turn this into the shaft if you really wanted to. Very nice.
Cool.
That's a nice screenshot.
Sorry, I led you down here.
That's okay. We should look to move on now. So let's go back to the editor, and we'll move to the next world. So yeah, really great job by Serial. Okay, so next we have. So this one was quite interesting. I did set up a really simple version of this. So this is Ecclerock's text adventure game. So I'm assuming, you know, again, build a base, build an adventure. You could build a base in text form. This is really quite an interesting kind of way that, you know, the game can kind of, or the theme can be interpreted via this sort of text form. So if we just preview this, actually, I'm curious to know how this is going to work with 2 players. The way it should work is we should be. I might need to add some. Oh, well, that's right. I need to add some things to the user to play this. So if I search through here, so here's a good tip. If you have lots of packages in your game and you're looking for specific templates, then rather than search through the template library, if you search the packages screen, if I just search text here, and then expand the assets here, I can see everything associated with the package. So that's often quite a good way to get a specific list of what you're looking for. So if we go user here, user text adventure is there. So I think what's happened here is I've ended up with 2 users. Okay, can I delete this? Can't delete this one. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll explain how this works, and I'll try and showcase it in a little bit if I can. What I'll probably do is I'll delete another packaging we'll work it out. But essentially what this does, and Ekorok's got some really nice examples of this on Discord and also in the package guide. But essentially the way it works is you end up with kind of an on-screen prompt, on-screen story, and a couple of options. And based on the options, it will take you to the next prompt. So what I've done out the box is just set this up to be a adventure step 1. Okay, and I've flagged that this is the first one. And then based on this, you've got body text elements, you've got options text, and option destinations. So depending on what option the players pick, and you can set up multiple options and multiple kind of destinations. In this case, if the player says, I want to go left, it will send their character to the left. And if they want to go right, it will send their character to the right. So, in fact, what I could do, let me try this. Let me just try adding it. Let's see if this does it. Yeah, because I've ended up with a couple of user templates. It's picking one for me. Yeah, here we go. This works. Okay. As we can see here, me and Adam have both ended up on this start destination, and I can't control my character. That's all locked to me here. I can see here that it says, welcome to my adventure. This is just a quick demo. Go left or go right. I'm going to go left. And it's now going to take my character across to that node and then show me the camera on the way across and do all that sort of stuff as well. At the minute, I think we're locked in here, so we'd have to go back to preview. But if you can imagine what you can do with this is actually a really long series of nodes, essentially, with story attached to each one, and the camera is going to kind of dynamically fly between nodes. You can set up a really interesting sort of pick your own path adventure story, and that can also kind of link into perhaps players a way to show players around a base. The options could perhaps be modified to build certain parts of a base depending on what the players choose. So yeah, it's a really huge amount of what's the word, kind of like scale to this. I've got a very, very simple example here, but this took me literally 5 minutes to set up. I'm sure Ekorok will be doing some sort of huge grand adventure, but yeah, that's a pretty cool package. Okay, I think we'll move on to the next one. Is there anything you wanted to say with regards to that one, Adam?
No, other than, yeah, it's really cool. And I agree that there's lots of potential uses for this, like using it for a tutorial system or something for your game, as well as the kind of obvious use it as a text adventure. So yeah, nice work.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so keeping with Ekorok, we have the small starter maps. So this one is really quite nice as well. So essentially what you end up with is kind of base plates to build a game from. So this is sort of a builder base, like the base of an entire game. It could be the base of just a kind of hangout space. And it's a really nice, kind of quite highly detailed section of terrain that you can build from. Quite small, but again, I guess that's part of the charm of it, is it's kind of small little hangout spaces that you could have, and you could extend these and obviously build them however you like. So there's lots of different themes. But the nice thing about this package is it's actually split into sort of two halves. There's the decorated version of everything, and then there's the undecorated version of everything. So if you look over here at the top, we can see that we've got this one here with the sort of that we're stood on, kind of the canyon kind of sunk into the cube. And then on the left, we've got the exact same thing, but an uncolored version. Other than a little bit of painting that I did in here earlier. And this is something that Ekorok actually pointed out on the package guide is quite a nice thing to go ahead and do. If you get your grow tool and send it all the way down to 0.1 strength, it kind of acts more like a paintbrush. It doesn't really put much in the way of voxels onto the terrain. And then if you go ahead and find something like a wild grass to go along here, you essentially end up with a kind of it's a bit like a canvas to paint with, which I think is a really nice touch. It's kind of like a painter base is kind of the way to think of this.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? That's cool.
And to say, it's really quite, yeah, I can see you going ahead there. So again, collaboratively, you can have a couple of players, kind of download the package and everybody picks one, or, you kind of team up and all paint your own. But it's a really kind of nice, relaxed exercise as a way to sort of paint this sculpted environment. And then all of these are just the examples of, I guess, what Ekorok's done. But all of these have their bare kind of white version of them. So yeah, it really works quite nice. And as I say, I think as a as a drop-in sort of area to play with, this is actually really quite cool. I'm just getting a bit wobbly there. Yeah, I think that we can see a lot of different games. There's people that make a lot of games. I know Chunky Love Mark does it a lot, where the gameplay actually goes between environments. So here we have some actual kind of scale, like kind of decent scale environments to have like little mini games in. Your game could perhaps cycle through all these different environments. Yeah, as a developer says, yeah, to get an idea of scale. So actually, some of them are quite large. You could fit a decent game mode into some of these.
They're all the same size, right? Are they the size of the starting square?
Maybe they are.
Am
I
right
think
in saying that?
some of them are a bit taller than others, which perhaps adds to the scale.
Yeah, I think they might all be exactly the same size square.
Yeah, you might be right there.
I'm going to have a look at the voxel mesh for our standard terrain. See if it's the
It's quite
same.
fun to just like run between them. I can make it. Yeah, so very different scale, and again, it kind of just shows the breadth and depth of the sort of voxel system and how you can really create kind of quite amazing different environments. And actually, you could do a lot of stuff with this with certain other packages we've got that would perhaps change the world settings depending on which zone you're in. So you could make some of the lava ones be much darker and scarier, whereas the meadowy ones much brighter and much lighter. So yeah, really good kind of way to go through. Ekrok says they're all 300 by 300, and I think that is about the starter map size, the base plate size, isn't it?
No, I think it's about double the base plate size in each dimension.
Okay.
I just found another terrain in here. I don't think it was our original one.
No, there'll be all sorts of
a quarter of these.
all sorts of terrains and all sorts been
Yeah.
dragged through. Cool. Okay, but yeah, really great kind of package, and it's a really nice way to kind of do it with the examples. So you've got the example of it finished, but you've also got the kind of the bare version to paint and work from, which works really good. Sovereign Game says I'm dropping one of them in every new game. Yeah, I mean, even if you took this as a starting point, say you wanted to make a big snowy game, you could take this one as your sort of inspiration starting point, and then just continue to build in the same style and build it out to be 1,000 by 1,000 or 1,500 by 1,500. But taking the sort of the style of it, and it's a really nice place to start from. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's move on while we're going here. So this one is the Iceland Army Base Construction Kit. So there are a lot of these that were collaborators, and I don't quite have the information to hand right here on who collaborated with what. But I'm pretty sure this was a Mighty Co collaboration as well. So there are some interesting things going on with this. Oh, we've started in a chimney. So we had quite a few packages that were like this, and this is a really good example of the sort of thing we were looking for, or at least one of the aspects of something we're looking for, which is it's kind of like a kit. It's a modular thing that can be clipped together with some really nice examples, and lots of different things that you can do in terms of building with them. So what we have is lots of different bits of building a base, which is really, really quite cool and really quite detailed as well. We've got some scripts on here. So if we hit play, I'm assuming these doors are going to start opening. And we can start having a little look inside as well.
If we can get out the chimney.
Oh, we need to get out of the chimney. Let's,
We can't get out the chimney.
let's move that start point. Which chimney was it? Is it this one? Have we got a start point set, or we don't?
No.
Let's set a start point quickly.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea.
There we go. Okay. Let's have a look. But yeah, this was
These
one of
are-
those packages that just kind of looked really good. And one of the nice things they've done, I don't know if you've kind of noticed, we'll have a bit of a closer look in a minute, but they've actually got everything's built with varying levels of completeness. Oh, can we not move?
Why can't I move?
Oh, I think I know why.
What have you done?
These are the technical issues that I thought were going to happen. I think that is the thing from the text adventure package that's telling us that we're not allowed to move. That's my assumption. So let's have a look, see if that works now.
Yeah, these look amazing. All these buildings.
There we go. Yeah, so as Sovereign Game says, the kind of attention to detail that Iceland puts into things is incredible. So even like these kind of small walls, and I think they they've really I've put two of them facing the wrong way, I think, but it's
Yeah,
kind of the literal interpretation of the theme as well. It's kind of the builder base. So we've actually got the components of the individual bits to build the base. Um, the Iceland says only had 1 day to build it, of course, 1 day, but it's all part of Mighty's RTS Tycoon package. So yeah, that's another package that we've got kind of a little bit working. The demos that are available are probably better than the package that I've put together, but I can at least show some of the details of what Mighty's been up to, but some of the sort of the construction mode stuff. But yeah, really, really amazingly detailed packages.
although I think you've placed some of these things one voxel higher than they should be, Russ.
Oh yeah, maybe I have.
Looking at this here, the
Yeah,
wall's a little bit raised, but it's all right. We
it's a
can ignore
showcase. There, it's a museum. We're showing it off. Yeah, I really like this one. So this is like the broken hangar. So it's all I say broken. It's like in construction.
Yeah,
And then you got like the middle one where stuff's kind of floating around, almost like it's half kind of it's been paused in time almost, which is really cool. And then you got the final thing over here, which I think the doors open and then you can get in. So without any code, I've literally dropped these in and we've got some. Oh, they open as well.
these open. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, so without any code, we've literally just got to the point where we've got working buildings, and then with not a huge amount more code with some of the other packages we've got, you've got basically all the quite a few building blocks available ready to start your own sort of base building, sort of tycoon RTS type game.
Definitely makes me think of games like Jurassic World Evolution, where
Okay,
you
yeah,
can place a building and you see it being built,
yeah.
and it looks really cool. And that really reminds me of it with this package.
It's all the old school like Command and Conquer and Total Annihilation and stuff where you'd see the little bots go around and the scaffolding appears and the building appears, Age of Empires, that sort
Yeah,
of thing. And I think that's like it's a really nice kind of pack of stuff to go towards, given as that sort of gameplay. So do make sure you check it out. Obviously, there's kind of the package is there to be used. So even if you're not doing that sort of game, if you're just building an environment that's like a military base, then some really great packages in there to use. Kiosa Tropical Island. It's funny, I've been through all of these like yesterday and today, but some of them I can't quite remember, but they were all pretty good. This one, yes, I remember this one. So this one was quite good actually because it came with the entire map to kind of start building your base on, but then it also came with like a locator you could place, and it gives you the instructions here in voxels to place the
I love
locator
that.
at the bottom of the golden column, and that gives you the decoration, so things like the trees and stuff. So if you got rid of that, if I was to delete that locator, we see a lot of the trees disappear, and it's even more of a blank slate. And that's a really nice thing to do with packages, is to provide sort of a furnished and unfurnished version.
Fish tank inside.
Yeah, have a little fly around here in photo mode, but got a fish tank. Looks pretty cool. And it's a lot of kind of created space, but actually it allows you to sort of make it your own space. So that someone looking to create a social hub type environment might see this and think this is exactly the sort of place thing they wanted to make, but they've now got the option to kind of go in and paint it, make it their own, add their own meshes, add their own logic to it. It looks really quite nice, and it's a really quite a large scale building as well. It's quite an impressive thing to have made, with the sort of the detail. The roof's got the detail in, the staircases. It's quite like the architecture side of it is quite well thought out and planned, which is good.
I really like how the roof's been done, where it's kind of in different layers with like gaps between.
Yeah, and the way that the like the little golden bits, if you get the camera
Mm,
right, like the way the sun like reflects off them is pretty nice.
yeah,
Like you can create some like nice little photo moments. Yeah, really good package. As I say, it's there to be kind of use. There's obviously all the water there, so there's the kind of half furnished version, so you kind of drain trees, or you kind of got the option to go through blank slate. And this could be built for anything. There could be shooters here, there could be adventure games, tycoon games, it could just be a social hangout. So there's a lot of options here, and I'd be interested to see what sort of things people go ahead and start building with that package. Okay, speaking of Mighty Construction Mode, this is one I didn't quite get a chance to get working properly. I'm trying to think how far I did get with it. But what you get with this package is, if we just go ahead and pull this one out. Okay, Mighty Construction Mode. So there's quite a few little steps go with it. And again, there's a really good package guide on the forum explaining how to use this. And you can add, you need to add a user construction mode to the user. So let's go ahead and do that. We have an example, which is always really good for this sort of thing. You know, players want to come in and kind of see how the package works straight away without doing too much setup. So it is really nice to be able to drop in the kind of an example that they can kind of do a couple of drags, hit play, and see the end result. I think that's all I need to do for this one. Let's just hit play. Here we go. Okay, so I have an area here. I have my turret. I can click turret.
I think this only works for one person, doesn't it?
Is it a sort of a single player thing?
I'm just sort of stuck, but I can see you placing turrets, but I can't move. So.
Oh, you can see the turrets being placed?
Yeah, just because my camera's pointing that way.
So I'm getting an error come through here. I'm sure I had this working earlier.
Oh, I've seen 2 turrets.
Okay, so you can see the turrets. They're not appearing for me. If I exit this mode, they...
Well, that's a new style of gameplay. One person can place turrets, the other can see them, and then we have to coordinate.
Now, I must apologise if this isn't going to work out properly, but what I will highly recommend is checking out the game that Mightyco has set up. There's like a full game showing off how this works, but just to go back to the what you actually get with the package, as I say, it is relatively straightforward. So what do we have here? So we get some example things that you can build. The user construction mode is just the stuff that goes onto the user template. You've got the example construction area, and then there might be a few other little bits set up that I've probably got wrong somewhere. But essentially that's all you need to do. And what the kind of the style of gameplay that this is setting up is like what we were just talking about, which is the RTS. Kind of select the turret, place it in the world, build it, watch it build over time. So the way that it kind of works is, you know, it kind of gives you that kind of opens up the whole side of the gameplay. So again, build a base is literally about building a base. So it's a really quite cool package. As I say, I can't do the best demo of it right now, but what I can show you is at least kind of the few little bits that come with it, and how easy it is to set up. I've probably broken something along the line with all the other packages I've got going on. But yeah, definitely worth checking out the showcase tomorrow. I'm sure AJ is going to be jumping in and playing some of those showcases tomorrow. So if you want to see more about this, then do tune in tomorrow. Check that one out as well. Or dive into the package guide and download it yourself and have a little look, have a little play around and see what you can start doing. We'll jump to the next one now. So we're going to start flying through some of these. Another mighty one, and this one does work, pretty sure, because I had quite a lot of fun setting this one up. At least it worked last time I checked. So again, really fantastic package from Mighty. The way this works again is you have a couple of examples. See Adam's climbing over them already. We have Mighty Defense System, which comes with all you need to create your own player tracking turrets. They work pretty nicely. They include all the sort of stuff you'd expect from Mighty. So it's got animation, there's effects, there's smoke, there's, you know, camera shake. And all I need to do is drag these two into the world, and it just worked. So if we hit play, and again, I'm curious to see what it does with 2 players here. Oh, they've already been shot. Okay, so Oh, that one's paying attention to you. Oh, this one pays attention to me.
Closest to them. Yeah, they're both coming for me. I love the camera shake. That's cool.
It's cool, isn't it? It's like, I guess it's like a range thing where they just pick a target based on how far away they are, maybe. But it's really, really cool package. So imagine the construction mode. Imagine Iceland's kind of build, like miniature based building package. You've got kind of turrets you can place. You've got buildings you can build. There's a real kind of huge amount of stuff that you can start to do with what with this sort of these packages, combining them. And the animation on these ones are great. Works really nicely, and the camera shake adds such a nice element of kind of makes them a little bit more scary.
Yeah, it really does. It makes them feel much stronger, more powerful.
Well,
I love the
you go.
I love the machine gun thing on the lead bombs made out of like railing posts.
Oh yeah,
And the timer made backwards.
yeah. I hadn't really got that close to it. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, all I was going to say is that obviously we don't have a health package installed, which is why we're kind of infinitely getting shot. But obviously, you can install a health package, or do damage to you. There's quite a few things you can do on there. Oh, Mighty says it's based on distance and visibility.
Can we test the visibility thing? Can we quickly drop a wall in?
Oh yeah.
And see.
Do it.
I assume it's on
do it with a mesh, because they all share the same voxel mesh. So if you throw voxel down, you'll start to affect every world. Billboard.
Billboard. Yeah.
Here we are testing. Right. Stress test. Yeah, go for it.
Stress test because you're stressed and we're trying to test.
Yeah.
All right, so if you stay back, so I'm like the closest, and then I go behind here, then they give up and they shoot you instead. Yay!
And then if you poke out, they're going for you.
That's quite scary. They both start looking at me. I assume cool. Because it's Mighty and he makes very configurable scripts, you can change their like targeting speed as well.
Yeah, well, let's go and have a quick look at what we get. So there's the turret scripts folder on each of the turrets, and there's targeting and main. So you can adjust all the things you'd expect. So the max kind of pitch and yaw, the range, whether they target players, whether they target specific teams. So you could set up like a blue team and a red team turret. The main script, I don't think there's anything to configure here, but that's the sort of thing you can assume is just going to work for you. So yeah, quite a few little options to do that, and I say quite a lot of use cases for this sort of stuff as well. So it'd be really interesting to see what sort of kind of gameplay things people can do, using this sort of automated turret system.
Trico said, "I like you're trying to offer your bank card so it doesn't destroy you."
Yeah,
because we're still holding the bank cards out.
Yeah, yeah. Please take my money.
Take my money. Don't kill me.
We're being bullied by massive cyber turrets. Yeah, no, fantastic job, Mighty. And again, Mighty Co's been kind of prevalent through several packages. Has clearly been really busy over the last 2 weeks, and still managed to produce some of those. Guns, please take a look on those. Take a look on the gun itself. Repeater turret gun. So that.
Oh. Developers going to put these turrets into their current game.
Ooh. I like that.
That's cool.
Smite MOBA game.
Guns, please take a look on those. Or is that what you're doing there?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. I think I included everything that was in the package. In the tower.
Tower gun.
Is there a tower gun? Am I just being?
Yeah, but yeah, just part of the turret in the script.
Oh, I see.
Like the turret socket? Oh, is that rotation speed? Oh, is that like how quickly it can target you?
Ah, yes, I got you. Okay, I'm with you.
So if I speed that way up.
So you can have, oh, okay, right. So here you've got even more stuff. So you can affect the specific guns have their own behaviors. So the clip size, the burst, the
Yeah.
spread, the range. Does it use a projectile? Shot delay. That's where all of the effect side of stuff comes from. So if you want to kind of customize the turret to kind of be a little bit more on theme with the game, then that's where you do a lot of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a really cool package. And as I say, like you've got that drag out the box option to just kind of throw it in your game and configure it, or you can kind of start to make it, be a rubber duck shooting turret or whatever using projectiles. So really, really good kind of package that I'd highly recommend people start throwing into their games and really let us know on Discord kind of what sort of games you built with the turrets. I expect to see turrets everywhere for the next few weeks. Let's move on. Let's go ahead to this one.
Wait, I just adjusted it.
Oh, you just did it. Do we need to preview?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just wanted to see if I changed the speed. Yeah.
It's a brick.
Oh yeah, and this one's way faster
really
to aim as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right, that's what I wanted to check.
I can almost imagine a game where you need to like upgrade your team's turret, and your team's turret is like dealing damage to like a kind of some sort of fake AI type, like I don't know, it's shooting at some sort of big robot, and you've got to like get your turret to be faster and fire quicker and all that sort of stuff. That could work.
Or even like a team versus team capture the flag or something, where you have to get through to the other side, but they can also upgrade turrets, and you can upgrade turrets to defend as well.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. Right, okay, this one looks like there's nothing here, and you've noticed that we're stood up high. So this is a really cool package by NNS 2009, and this is a procedural generation package. So this is a really, really heavily technical package that actually is really, really quite cool. So what I've got down on the base plate here are 3 mazes, which are going to be procedurally generated. Adam, your favorite.
I'm not amazed.
Oh, get out. And we've also got a sample terrain. So we'll see the terrain build over time because it's a really complex kind of set of operations that are happening. So it is quite slow to load in. But actually, it's a really impressive and really quite cool way to see the world being built. And again, Mighty's done similar things in the past with like a Perlin noise generation packages and that sort of thing. So that's essentially what we've got going on here. Yeah, let's have a little look at what happens when we hit play. Okay, so we see instantly we have these 3 mazes that have been procedurally generated, and they are procedurally generated based on parameters that I have set, even down to the style of the maze itself, so what the voxels are and such. And if you look straight ahead, Adam, you should see a world appearing before our eyes.
I'm seeing it. One layer at a time.
One layer
that's
at
cool.
a time.
Yeah, that's looking really nice.
Yeah, and where people might think, oh, I could build that in 5 minutes, I could do that myself, with a brush or whatever. What's happening here is this is all driven by Lua. It's all driven by code. It's essentially taking some parameters, what we sort of need or what we want it to build, and it's building out the map for us. So you can imagine the sort of gameplay that might open up is that every time you play the game, the map is different. So as I said, we have seen similar packages before. Ultimate Frying Pan Tank 2 from Mighty Code does a similar thing. But it's always interesting to see new implementations of it. And the procedural maze stuff, there's a procedural dungeon part of this, which actually gives you kind of corridors with random sized rooms and stuff off it as well. So yeah, really, really quite cool stuff you can do.
In this package.
And again, works out the box, just drop it in the world and start playing with some parameters. So if you click sample maze 2, Adam.
Sample maze 2. They all just say sample maze and then some other stuff.
Well, and then it's got 2 at the end.
Oh yeah, my world tree wasn't stretched out far enough. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. And then if you scroll down, you can see how under like skirted voxel wall renderer, you get to pick how high it is and what voxel it's made from and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So if you have a little play with that, I'm going to play with this one.
Okay.
So you can make it slightly bigger. I might make mine. Oh, I'm going to make mine a bit smaller. Let's go for like a 6 by 8.
I have good ideas.
I make it
Very
a
good ideas.
bit taller. Floor height of 3. Max fills per frame. I guess that's how much do you want to push it actually building it per frame. But we see the mazes actually appear pretty quickly. Let's have a look here. So yeah, we want blue painted with red neon on top. So instead of red neon, let's say we want to go for like a shiny orange plastic. We want the bottom to be, I don't know, let's pick disco, of course. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Just adjusting a couple of other bits. Okay, yeah, go.
Okay, hit play. So now we just need to be able to save off those generated voxel meshes so we can decorate it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
You can also swap different renderers and generator algorithms. Oh, okay. So I've made this one, the disco orange one. Looks a little bit like a Unit 2 games maze.
It does actually. It's the right colours.
Yours looks pretty nice. Is it cheese and meat?
And noodles
And
and
noodles and
chocolate.
chocolate. Very good.
The best voxels.
And what people will notice is this terrain is now completely different to the one we saw before. It's starting to generate in a slightly different way. If I get into my maze, I made it. Okay, so I'm in my maze. So this is what it looks like at this level. And again, you saw that I set the parameters for how high certain things to be, what sort of colors for there to be. I'm not sure this one. I think by default they don't really have an exit. So there's no kind of logic to solve them, but then that's the sort of thing that you could then take the package to build on. Yeah, I mean, a really fantastic package. There's really a huge amount of options for what you can kind of do with this sort of stuff. And again, you start to combine in the turrets, you start to combine in all that other stuff, and you can really create some powerful, quite cool games with all this. So really great work. I think that's. Oh, here we are. Try sample hell terrain. Okay, we'll try one more quick one. Sample hell terrain.
I'm still trying to catch up with all the messages about this one.
Sample terrain, sample maze generator, or star maze generator. So again, a really top tip for when you're building these sort of packages is to include plenty of examples, because that's the best way to kind of explore how it works. Am I just being blind? Where's sample terrain rectangle hell? Okay, drop one of those in. I'm going to hit play. Okay, so over here somewhere, should see our we should see our hell kind of area start to appear. Not sure which direction it's going to grow. Unless maybe it's going to go one at a time. It's just something so satisfying about watching it build.
Which one are we watching now? Is there a hell terrain or something?
I think maybe it's going to build after this one's finished.
Oh, I see. I need to try and reach my maze.
It's bigger, so it might take some time. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh no, now I'll come down here. I can't see the hell thing. Well, from above.
Oh, that's quite big.
It's pointy.
I'm just watching you in photo mode and see you running over.
The fun thing about this is that even though you can kind of see it generating line by line, you can actually still be running around it as it works, which is pretty cool.
I wonder, yeah, there's got to be a game idea in that, right? It's like you're being chased through a terrain as the terrain is being generated, so you got to like react quickly to where the bridges are or where the where the safe zones are. Ooh, lava looks nice in water.
There might be something in that.
Cool. Right. Okay. I'm gonna jump back. As I said, there's a dungeon as well. It works kind of in the same way, in that you sort of drop it in, you give it some options, give it some parameters, and sort of see how it kind of builds out with random size rooms and random size corridors and stuff. So it's all really kind of fantastic stuff. And again, I'm really excited to see what sort of stuff people start to create with that. Right, I'm going to move on to the next one. As I say, we've got a lot to get through. Slaying Neon District. So this is another one of our kind of a pack of kind of buildings and things. This one works quite nicely as a collection of kind of neon style buildings. We did have a couple of these. The Sovereign Games team did a similar one, and we're going to look at that one next. But here we have the Neon District. So if I fly over here a little bit in advanced mode. Oh, what am I doing now?
Oh.
There we go. Right, okay. Okay, so what we can see here is we have kind of placeable things, and as I say, this isn't sort of a showcase. I've just kind of put these down on the map so we can say the sort of things that we kind of want to, that come with the package. So we've got all of these different road pieces. You can never have too many road pieces when you're kind of putting together these cities. Scaffolding pieces. I quite like these sort of small kind of little things to make the streets feel a bit busier, I guess. So you've got kind of the flipped over car. You've got kind of the tire stacks and stuff. That's pretty cool sort of pre-set out buildings that you can add kind of areas to. So you can have like a base, like a prison base. You've got a base shop selling various things like yummy pancakes, and what else we've got in here? Cameras.
Where's the yummy pancake shop?
It's in the shop.
Oh, in the shop.
Yeah, in the
Right.
shop, selling cans,
Oh, yeah.
yummy pancakes and crushed cans. What else we got in here? So blank slate. It's always really good for this sort of package. Give people the chance to decorate it how they like. Some larger scale buildings, and again, I like the kind of color theming. So you got kind of the green, the blue stuff. This is kind of a garage area, I guess. A couple of guns lying around. I assume this is some sort of like spooky house with the big horror face on the front. This was pretty cool. It's like big glass sort of elevator space. It creates a really cool effect when you run through it. Like with the way I like the way it's kind of got all the cutouts in the voxel to kind of create quite a cool shape.
Whoa. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love these building kits that everyone's making.
I think, yeah, and that's it, isn't it? Like it's a really nice chance to just sort of see kind of I'm excited to see the sort of things people do, like almost bashing these kits together. So it's like kit bashing big like kits almost. You imagine this mixed in with perhaps the next one we're going to look at, which is another neon city. You can really start to pull the things together. Could you adjust the world settings? Oh, I think Adam's on it. So this silver bar I put down just to sort of demonstrate these lights. So this package comes with all these different lights, and they've done a really nice thing with like an extracted voxel in each of them, but then also having the light emit based on the color. So you can kind of see on the silver sort of voxel, you kind of got those different colors. So you can really sort of theme different areas of the city based on all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really, really quite cool kit. Really fun. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, I think I pressed F5 and I shouldn't have pressed F5, should I? So sometimes I get really confused if I'm in edit or play because they're so similar, which is a nice thing in Crayta, but sometimes I'm like, right, I need to go back to the editor, but I'm in the editor. Okay, let's move on. So let's have a look. So go from Neon District to Neon City. neons and glass are made for each other. That's true. They do make some pretty cool effects, especially at night. Right, so this one, I think I've understood Wes's package guide correctly. There's quite a few packages and submissions, all kind of spread across various forms and submissions and stuff. So what I've kind of done is anything that I suspected was a Neon City thing. So we've got, I think it's Carolina and Wes and Slater, all kind of building in the same cityscape essentially. So what I'm going to do here is sort of show you what these several packages give you. But there's one forum post that you'll need to look for, which is from Wes. It's the Neon City one, and that has got all of the information across all of them for you there. So let's have a look here. Yeah, so you can see very, very similar sort of vibe. It's these sort of large structures, a lot of glass, a lot of neon. We'll perhaps turn it dark in a second. Have a look. So let's see if I can remember what all of these are. So here we have Wes and his apartment block. Yeah, so kind of really large scale building. Quite a nice.
Where are you looking?
The big red building.
Big red building.
With
oh yeah,
red stripes. Yeah. And then as we go to the right, we see the courthouse. So again, nice empty kind of shell of a building for you to go ahead and decorate however you like. I believe most of these are using an interactive package system, which is also another package which was submitted from Wes, which allows all the doors to work and the lifts to work and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of different options here. The large building here, I believe, is Slater's HQ. So this is a really cool building, really stylish. Again, a really nice use of the glass and the neon. And if you look at the Sovereign Games signs, the UI, it's got a really nice sort of hologram flicker effect.
That's very cool.
Which is really quite cool. It looks really slick. It's kind of got that kind of slightly grungy cyberpunk sort of feel to it. You can imagine, once we turn the lights down, it's going to look really quite cool when it's doing that. So yeah, really cool collection of buildings. Here we have, I think this one was the nightclub. Apologies if I'm wrong, but this is a kind of a really stylish, cool building. Missed the hospital. The hospital's in between the two. So we can see the big H on top. And again, a really nice use of the kind of the lighting with the glass and the voxels. And these are two different types of shop. At least one was a version of the other one. So I thought I'd include them both just in case. And then over here we have the police station, which has a really interesting sort of geometric sort of shape to it with the sort of the diamond on top of it. But again, really kind of futuristic, really cool, really kind of fantastic collection of buildings, but and also intertwined in all of this, you've got have a quick look at the world tree. So you've got all these different shops, and all of these again were just drag and drop from the library. So it's got interactive systems built in, so things like the lifts work. You see the triggers here, and the doors will all work out the box. This is using quite a lot of the developers X1 package, so that's kind of a really nice collaboration there on that between those. Yeah, a lot of people are enjoying the signs. The signs do look fantastic. A really, really nice thing. I feel like that should be the Sovereign Game logo when the game loads up and you see Sovereign Games for the first time. That's like the glitch effect logo. Looks really good. Here we go. Adam's going to do some lighting for us.
Well, that was it.
Wow, how are you doing? How are you doing the glitching sign? I'm assuming it's all CSS and JavaScript, but that's probably one for the Sovereign Games guys to answer.
It is, and it looks like that's kind of a part of the package that you can configure yourself as well. So it's just called holographic display.
Oh yeah.
Script and widget, and then you can change things like which images are being displayed, how big they are, the opacity. I think maybe you got a blur that you can change on there. There's all sorts that you can change.
That's really cool.
To customize that as well,
including the image. So if you did have your own image. Okay, we'll have a quick preview. We'll have a little look at some of these things in action.
I guess changing the image would be the main part.
Yeah.
All of your games would say Sovereign Games.
Hey, it's not bad for advertising. Okay, so.
Oh no! Look, no, sorry. That was just in their default state. Look, this one,
Ah,
the nightclub says upload, upload,
upload,
upload.
upload, upload.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that the name of the nightclub? Is upload?
I assume so.
Look.
It's cool because it's all up in the sky. Wait for me if you're getting a lift.
Oh,
Are you getting a lift?
right. Oh, is it? Interact.
Maybe if I bribe them with my bank card.
Yeah. Area function interact object script. So this is more likely to do something I've done wrong, rather than the package itself, because I've had to sort of intertwine various things. Let me just see if we go back. Let me just check I've got the right things on the user.
Oh, and Wes says there's also a text version if you don't want to use it with an image. That's
Oh,
cool.
that's good. That's pretty cool. Right, so if I go to my user, do you have X1? Let's see what else the package comes with. As I say, this one does come across from several packages. There's a lot of X1 packages that get installed. There's anything Neon City we can see here. So Neon City Shop, Hospital, Courthouse, Apartment Block, Interactive Systems Pack, X1 user. Yeah, I think I've got most things on there. It's probably just a case of following the guide and tweaking. You're missing the Interactive Systems package.
Oh yeah, you saw.
I have it here. Am I missing it from the world? Is that the...
Or the user?
Tell you what, we'll move on and keep shouting out and chat about what we need to do, and I'll see about coming back to that one and having a look. As I say, we've got quite a few to get through. As I say, a lot of these do have kind of showcases, or they are available with package guides for people to go and have a look at. So I'm going to do my best to try and get through as many of these as I can, just to sort of at least show the sort of things that the pack comes with. So this one was really cool. This one is quite high on the entity count. So it's sort of, you wouldn't have too many of these for your game, but I think this is comprised of sort of, what's it here, 5 different things. So I've got like 2 corners that are kind of clipped together with the floor and the ground. And if you look, kind of the floor is made up of individual trapdoors. Quite a lot of meshes here, but it looks really cool. And we've seen some screenshots on Discord of this. You can see out here that like the detail that's gone into this is quite incredible. I just go to my camera mode and have a little fly around here so we can see here. Yeah, we've got some
wall, the outside wall.
It looks great, doesn't it? Like the sort of the amount of kit bash things that have gone into here.
Yeah, it looks so techie and sci-fi.
It looks great, and it's, as I say, like it is quite high on the entity count, but actually as a kind of, if this was your map, you've got a little bit of headroom, I think, after to add a little bit of gameplay around. But it's a really fantastic kind of highly detailed collection of assets. It's always fun to try and guess what's going on here. I can see bits of alien spaceship, like the lander. There's cables, settlement parts, thrusters. I guess the main body of it is spaceship bits, is it? Yeah. That's like the settlement walls and stuff. So yeah, a really, really interesting use of kind of various kind of bits of kit bashing. I think you've done this before, but I quite like the way that the teleporters that are making up the ceiling here with the green corners have been kind of pushed together to make these little like spiky green bits inside.
Where are we looking?
So if you come in inside the area.
Oh, I'm watching the stream thinking that's your screen share, but obviously that's behind.
Yeah, it's a little bit
Oh,
slow.
right, the teleport pads on the ceiling.
On the ceiling, yeah, the way that they kind of
bits. Yeah, that's
make
cool.
the little spiky green corners looks really cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice bit of lighting, nice bit of reflection. So yeah, really kind of cool collection of little bits to kind of work with the floor. Are the trapdoors interactable? I think they're just decorative. Let's have a little look. Yeah, I think at the minute they are just they're just there to kind of comprise up the floor. they create quite a cool pattern, and they look quite detailed compared to voxels. Obviously, it just leans towards the slightly more expensive side. Right, I think we've got an answer to Sovereign Games. So let's have a quick look here. So I think I need to drag X1 into the world. That must be a step that I missed in the guide. Right, so I need to go. X1 needs to live in the world. I love the way I love the way that the package is called X1. So when you drag the instance of it into the world, it automatically renames it to X2.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Okay, let's see if this
Right.
works. I'm going for the nightclub. Upload, upload, upload. Pretty good name for a club, actually.
Ooh, was there something like pulsing along the side? Oh no, I think that's just like a reflection I'm seeing.
Hey, there we go.
Don't take the lift without me.
Okay, let's go to the top. 5th floor.
Oh, it teleports you up there.
Ooh.
4th floor.
Future lift. Teleport. So you can imagine up here, you've got your skyrise, you've got your neon district buildings, you've got your neon city buildings. The developer says lol free upgrade. It's like, yeah, you signed yourself up for an X1, have an X2. Cool. I like the way that everyone's like neon shoes always kind of fit this sort of environment really nicely as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get into this club unless you've got shiny shoes.
That is the creative design of shoes, isn't it?
That is the way. Yeah, awesome. So say quick little thing there. So again, all drag and drop, and you get all sorts of stuff. You know, working lifts, working doors, and your buildings to build with. So let's move on to the next one. There are some object templates you can interact with too if you search for objects. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave that for people to jump in and have a little look at themselves next time they are looking for a package to use. Download it, explore it best you can. We're going to move on to the developer's builder base. And you'll see my amazing base that I started to build. So I think you'll like this one, Adam. This one is it's like precision engineering, which I think is the sort of thing that you quite like.
I like maths and things.
Well, so this is a bit of a mess because it's my quick 10-minute attempt. But essentially, what we've got
that's
here,
a very rude thing to say about a package that we're just looking at.
My building of it is a bit of a mess in a minute, but I've made 4 walls and a roof and some doors and stuff. But if we look at what we get, actually, there's some really good advice. And what I will say is, if anybody wants something to go and make them smile and go and read, is you need to go and read the developer's package guide for this, because it is quite possibly the best package guide I think I've ever read. It's a really, really smart and clever way to get people to commit to reading all of the documentation. So I highly recommend checking out the package guide. I'd highly recommend checking out the package as well, but the package guide itself is certainly worth looking at for inspiration for next time you want to perhaps make package guide a bit more interesting maybe, or kind of lighten the mood a touch. So yeah, really, really recommend go ahead and check it out.
What did you say this one's called?
This is the builder base. I think it is just called the developer's builder base. Look here. I think it's this one. Builder base. Yeah, so you got builder base and you got builder base kit starter. So there's the alignment foundation on the floor, which is this sort of QR code looking section. You need to snap everything to grid snap of 4 and have grid snapping on for things to kind of click together properly. But everything comes in various sort of sizes. So this huge package of individual components. You've got interior, exterior, walls, floors, ceilings. And then the number at the end correlates to how wide it is or how big it is. So you know that a exterior wall of 6. That's exterior ledge of 6, exterior wall of 6. So I know if I go up here.
What's going on exactly? I'm lost.
You're lost. So yeah, I'm just sort of
Maybe I need to read the package guide.
mumbling to myself. Yeah, yeah, you should go read the package guide. So I know that if I kind of snap things together on the Grid Snapper 4, that they are just going to behave the way I want. So if you go to the packages and look at Builder Base, and then you've got
Kit starter or just Builder
So
Base?
Builder Base gets you like the start of it, and then you've got the kit starters, all the individual like pieces, and you'll see that there's millions. I can't count that high. There's so many of like individual bits that you can use to kind of put a kind of well-engineered area together. So you can see here I've got kind of a couple of floors, couple of walls, several walls. I've got this lip going around the outside. I've got this sort of fort at the front. I've got these sort of staircases that I clip together, the doors, and it all just fit nicely, which is good. Each piece has sort of metadata linked to it as well. In some way. So here, developer says all pieces are equipped with metadata, so that should be possible. If you can add it. Oh, okay. So yeah, basically this could become part of the procedural system. So you could use the procedural system because this is so kind of engineered to the grid. The procedural system can learn to basically build certain things out. And as the developer says there, so essentially what we've got here is the kit starter is almost the inspiration. You can kind of use that as a template to start building your own components, which should all fit in the grid nicely. So I don't want to touch this one too much because it kind of works at the minute. I feel like I'm going to break it if I do too much, but I'd highly recommend using this to kind of just prototype out some buildings and have a little go at kind of how well, the sorts of shapes and sizes of buildings. This probably took me about 10 minutes earlier, if that. So you can really start to get an idea of how quickly you can put various buildings together with, not just red and yellow voxels, but you can actually start to style the voxels, stone, brick, wood, whatever it is you need. So yeah, there's it's a huge amount of content available here, available for people to kind of really start to just build with. Standard kit template. Aha, okay, so here we go. That's what we're saying, right? So the standard kit template has a pieces folder, and under this pieces folder, it has all of the metadata for each of these individual pieces. So if anyone is looking to take this package and run with it from a procedural point of view, all of the information you need for each of the individual things is already there. So yeah, really exciting opportunity there to actually combine a couple of these packages into something really quite special. Cool. Okay, let's move on. What time are we at? We're at 8:10. This one's pretty fun. This is Victorious' glowing tiles. I quite enjoyed having a little play with this one. As you can see here, we've got some various shapes that are all kind of lit up. I'm going to hit play to kind of really show off how this works. Again, all drag and drop out the box. I don't think there's anything to really set up here. So what we can do is we start running on here, and if you just want to jump on these tiles, have a little run around, you can see
nice.
They light up underfoot. And it works really nicely with multiple players as well. So obviously, we're seeing our own kind of colours light up.
Is there an option for leaving the light on for a bit longer once you've left the tile?
Let's have a little look, actually.
So you could draw a trail.
I'm not sure there is. I don't remember seeing an option for that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's an option, but that would be a cool extension to this package.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine this being a really cool thing for like kind of just parts of a base, having like a colourful road in essentially. Building out a little road, like kind of a section, just a fun thing. And this is something we talked about when we kicked off this build jam. Is kind of a lot of social spaces need some sort of, like, we call them toys. They're kind of like a fun thing. They don't really mean much. They've got no kind of severe consequences, no gameplay rules. There's no kind of logic to it other than it's just something that's kind of a little bit of fun, to sort of to kind of include for players to just find. It might make someone smile and then that's it, but that's, it's a pretty cool little thing to achieve. And this is something that, I instantly found it pretty fun to just start placing these together. And as Victoria's done a really nice job of making sure that the kind of various things do clip together within a sort of grid space, so there's not too much kind of configuration needed to get them to sort of clip together. I can imagine Diagoro perhaps taking this and doing some funky like piano stuff, kind of playing all the kind of songs as you run along it, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really, really great job there, Victorious. Right, we need to move on to our second game now. So as I say, I had to split these across a couple of games because the editor was starting to just get a little bit unwieldy with the amount of packages and templates we had in there. Ooh, 8:15. So I'm not sure we're going to get to everything. I really hope we get a chance to at least kind of very briefly look at some things, but I might have to start speeding up soon. Okay, while we wait, let me pull up the package guide. So for everyone who hasn't already been over, do make sure, as I say, you head over to the forum. So that's forum.crayta.com. Okay, and once you're there, you'll see something like this. And what you want to do is you want to go over to the package guides section. Okay, and then here at the top you see all tags. If you click that, you'll see builder base, one of the options. Okay, so this is where you can see everybody's kind of guide. There's so many packages we've had submitted this time. So if you are looking to use one, then this is your best place to go ahead and find what it is you want to kind of do. A lot of these do a really good job of explaining. I just want to highlight the developers quickly if I can. Okay, so this is a really good way of doing it. Sometimes it can be information overload. So actually by collapsing them into various kind of smaller sections, excuse me, you'll find it actually really helps kind of guide players through. So here we can see, getting started. Rule 1, we go through it, and this is how I was like, okay, I need to do the 4 grid snap. I need to make sure grid snap is checked. And by kind of presenting the information like a click at a time, having the kind of the person viewing it click through it, it really helps kind of guide them through the rest of the process. And there might be a little treat if you make it all the way to the end. So yeah, do make sure you go ahead and check out that one. Okay, it looks like we're still loading in. So these are quite large games that I've got here with lots of packages and templates. Might be just about there now. There we go. Okay. Adam's here as well. So the same format. It's kind of a blank world. We're just going to go through a very quick whistle-stop tour of as many of them as we can.
I'm just going through the documentation now.
Yeah, it's really good.
On the developers package. I mean, I'm not really fully reading it all. I'm just skimming over, but that's quite funny. I'll give it a read later. All right, we're in.
Okay, Build Jam City. So this is another one. Again, it's a collection of kind of city pieces, something that you can kind of quickly throw large collections of areas together. Some really interesting kind of implementations here, and again, architecturally, really quite impressive. So if we just go over to our flycam. Okay, so some really nice little villas mixed with here. I'm not sure that they're kind of, you can go in them, but as like decoration, they work really well. And obviously it doesn't take a huge amount to get the doors to be kind of up and running. But yeah, they look really nice. As I say, it's like a backdrop perhaps, or if you're building up like a sort of like a street area. They look really, really quite great. car wash
Yeah,
here.
they're good. They're really nice.
These houses here, like they look like genuine bits of architecture, which is really quite cool.
Yeah, they've got some nice details that you'd expect in a real house. Like this one's got kind of little balcony between the two bits of roof. It
Yeah,
just makes them feel a bit more real.
yeah. I think that's something I've noticed a lot, and we'll see some more examples of this soon. But like the attention to detail we've seen is really quite incredible. There's this massive thing over here, like a old kind of mythological temple type thing. It takes me so long to fly to it because it's so big. That's a really cool thing. You
Yeah,
you could set an entire game in that
that's nice.
easy. That could be a map for a shooter, no question.
I
Uh,
love the giant door as well. That's just slightly open.
at the back. Right, I'm gonna go back to go into this mode. So this map's too big for photo mode flying. But yeah, so this like huge golden door at the back.
There also appears to be like the White House or the Capitol building or whatever it is made of chocolate and cheese.
So this is the White House, made of chocolate because why not? And cheese windows, which I thought was quite interesting. Like I was going to say, it's a really interesting blend of like really kind of fairly accurate architecture, and then you've got the chocolate White House. But I'm all
Yeah,
for it. It's pretty fun. I think this is the one. Is this the one that
cool.
has? Yeah, this one has a chicken shop that I've never heard of. I
A
don't.
what?
It's KFC or something, but I don't know what that is. Um, I just heard it's chicken shop. But yeah, it's a really really nice little kind of restaurant style building with the sort of sign outside, and again architecturally it's really interesting sort of shapes and stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a really good package. Yeah, this is by I'm going to probably butcher the name. This is by Jokin Samak. um,
Tamaki?
Samaki. Yeah,
Tamaki?
so they're on Discord, so if you do like the package, do make sure you go ahead and let them know. I think I might have seen them in chat earlier as well. Okay, let's move on. We're going to Joppy. This one was quite interesting. This was what I could only imagine was a recreation of a popular crime show. This is called New York 99, and I think this is a recreation of one of the offices. I must admit I've never watched the show that I think it might be based on.
I assume Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, yeah, I assume
Yeah.
it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You
Yeah,
haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I've seen a little bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've heard
Oh,
it's good.
come on, catch up.
Okay, I'll get on it. But yeah, it's a really kind of what I can only imagine. I mean, you're the expert. Is this a pretty good
I have
recreation?
watched the show. It's definitely familiar, yeah. I remember this kitchen area and Sully. I haven't even watched the show that much. He does something funny with the microwave in one episode. I don't
Ah,
know.
maybe that's why the
And there's a whole
microwave's here.
thing on the balcony outside as well. That's the whole part of the show.
Ah, well, there we go.
So yeah, it looks like just one floor here, but obviously that's like in kind of the real world of the show. That's somewhere up on top of a skyscraper. So I guess you could lift it all up and extrude down to make the rest of the tower.
Yeah, and have some fog for outside or whatever. But um, yeah, it's a really so what I can imagine is a really cool set. I mean, some people will come in here and think it's a pretty cool little base to have as a social space that's kind of like a familiar space from a popular TV show. I think that's pretty cool. Um,
Mm.
Pretty cool thing. I haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine since it came out, and I still recognise what this building was. Great work. Oh, there we go. It's obviously
I don't remember the walls being quite so yellow as well, but it's a different take on the office. They've redecorated, which is
maybe
cool.
that's it. Yeah, maybe this is before the Brooklyn Nine-Nine lot got in there and kind of redecorated or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool package. It's available now for people to go ahead and have a look at. What we've got next, Katie Brady Mega Awesome Secret Base. So this again was a pretty cool one. It was a drag and drop out the box kind of environment. It was pretty big, and I must admit I was looking at it and thinking, there's some trees, there's some containers, but Katie Brady said this is a secret base, and it did take me a little minute to see what was going on, or to try and work out what was going on. So if we go to preview, and you'll notice that one of these containers is actually slightly open. And if we run in, the floor disappears. And now I understand, where the secret base element comes into it. It's really cool. Again, kind of fairly empty base, but that's really kind of what we're looking for. It gives people the chance to now come in and start decorating it, start adding kind of their own kind of spin to it, their own style, kind of build a secret base, I assume. Oh no, you put the floor
Oh
back
no,
on me. The floor reappeared and I was like halfway through it.
I see. Maybe the floor should just be a visibility thing and not change collision, because you kind of got stuck in it, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah. It's fine. I like this like glass that's moving around, like it's like a scanner or something. It's like scanning
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
the bear trap, like the super dangerous bear trap. But yeah, it's a really really cool idea. So like you can imagine having a shooter where everyone's shooting out on the top, or just a hangout space where everybody starts at the top, but the actual kind of base is underneath, and that's where the cool kids get to hang out. People who know how to get into it. So yeah, really really cool. And as I say, drag and drop out the box, it just worked, which is always really nice for this sort of thing. I think I wasn't. Yeah, I haven't. That's the problem with people build a secret base. It's hard to know that you've seen everything, but I think that is the lot. But yeah, really, really great job on that one, KD. And I think Victoria's had some help with that as well. Right, Little Creators Medieval Buildings. So this is one of our latest creators who's been kind of in Discord quite a lot. And Adam, this is a really, really incredibly detailed collection of buildings. It's really kind of up there with some of the most detail I think we've seen.
Look at that windmill.
It's incredible, right? I mean, this was, yeah, like the architecture again. It's like the thought that's gone into how all of these buildings genuinely look kind of like they're properly built, if that makes sense. Like they make sense, which is always like a mind-blowing thing. It's really really cool stuff.
I'm really, really loving these building kits.
Mm.
It reminds me of going onto like a assets website or like the Unity store or something, and you have proper like professional artists making like medieval town kits and stuff, and that's exactly what we've got here, right within Crayta for free for everyone to use. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this church was that I spent ages looking at this earlier because it's just like the detail that's gone into the brickwork and how, again, it would be very easy to kind of just build a ledge, but I think that even parts of the ledges are like slightly inset, perhaps, and it's just like it's a really stunning kind of collection of the way it all comes together, and really interesting pieces that I think will kind of people should be making in lots of different I wouldn't be surprised if we see this sort of package included in a lot of games in the near future, because I think it really works quite nicely. We've had some other packages as well that will kind of complement this. Yeah, it's a really really kind of cool, highly detailed package. Really impressive stuff. AJ, how the hell am I meant to judge this? Yeah, I think
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, no one's given us an easy job here, because there are some, huge amount of incredible packages. I mean, we've got way more, response than we ever imagined we could. So this has been pretty much my life for the last 2 days. It's been downloading all these packages, but it's been an absolute joy because of getting to experience things like this. I think it's really really stunning work. We are going to move on. I'm afraid we are kind of starting to run out of time, but I'd highly implore everybody to get into the editor and even just start pulling the buildings apart. Download the package and just have a little look at how it all comes together. Really really great stuff. Little Creator. Right, we're at Marat, or for Builder Base. Victorious, my joy is on the floor, has been for about 90 minutes already. Yep, it's been a pretty incredible response. Right, let's have a look at this one. So this is, again, it's a really another building kit, and we've got kind of quite a few styles here. So we've got these kind of pretty funky looking kind of big voxel cars. Adam, do you remember that game we made? The Battle Royale game we made, like, must have been 3 years ago at this point. I don't think what that was called, but we had those big voxel cars and voxel buses in it, and these when I saw these earlier, like instantly reminded me of that game. But here we have, so we've got the various buildings here. So again, kind of really nice architecture. I really like the sort of the wooden struts that we see around on the outside, with the kind of the colours. We've got this sort of a Japanese inspired building, with the sort of the lanterns and the kind of the really nice detailed woodwork.
Sorry, I think I was muted.
You were muted. You weren't saying much, so I just carried on talking.
Yeah. You just carried on. I thought I was answering you, and then you just like didn't respond and carried on. Yeah, my headset died, so I grabbed another one, but I think Discord muted me in between it dying. So
that was nice of it.
Back. But yeah, so I don't know what the sound quality is like on this one, so sorry if it sounds weird.
Okay. It's a little bit muffly, but I think it'll carry us through for the next 20 minutes.
Cool. Yeah, was it something like Last Man Standing?
That was it.
That we made.
Last Man Standing, yeah, and it was like this was kind of before we had too many actual meshes in the game, so we built some like big chunky, like kind of this style, and it was quite nice to see kind of like the nostalgia come back of these like fun little kind of buses and things that we used to make. Yeah, no, again, a really good package. Again, we've got some nice like road pieces over here. So if you're looking to build like a big highway or something, straight away you've got some decent kind of bits to use. Some fun buildings, some fun skyscrapers. And again, everyone seems to be loving the neon. You're seeing neon everywhere, but that's good. Yeah, fantastic package. And no reason why we shouldn't be seeing those sort of buildings in all of these going forwards. Right, Mochi's package. Mochi's crafting package.
This apartment block with the balconies and stuff looks exactly like one that we put into our game like years ago.
Yeah.
The Last Man Standing or whatever we called it. Almost identical.
Right.
All right, what have we got?
So this is a crafting package, and I think you'll like this one. This is a very, very cool crafting package. I think, if I remember correctly, I'm going to need to
a rock banner stick.
Chuck a couple of things onto. Oh no, this might already be set up. Okay, and I think I might be good to go. Let's try it. Might already have everything ready. Okay, so what we have here is Mochi's basically made an entire pretty cool crafting system. Okay, so you'll see here we have rust test and small piece of wood. So the package came with small wood piece, and I've created rust test just using kind of the instructions that Mochi left. If I can pick up that, I've now got this rock. I can drop it. I can pick it up. Okay.
Take the rock.
If you put that down, so I can now look at that, and we see that it now no longer says a small wood piece. It says a box, and that's because I've set this up to basically say if I interact with this when I'm holding the rock, it's going to give me a box.
Oh, that's cool.
And I now have a box.
So this is a system that lets you do that with like any ingredient, pick them up, put them down, and combine them.
Yes, essentially. So it's kind of a one-to-one system. So it's always like, ingredient A and ingredient B makes template. This kind of system. So I'll let you have a little look at that.
So much you could do with that. Do you remember that game? It was like Idle God or something on smartphones like years and years ago. It was really popular, and you just like combine elements. And you start with like fire, water, whatever the other thing is, and you just keep combining them, and you try and like find all 200 things.
Yeah, there's like a library to complete, wasn't there?
Yeah, you could literally make that just from this package and nothing else.
If you have a go with this, then if you pick up that, and then you'll see that the box that now changed.
Oh, and it's also got a different icon. So this has a little hand to say pick it up.
Yeah.
But then that's got a hammer to say craft.
and then I can give you a box. And then you could pick up the box and go find something else. That's very cool.
Yeah, like
there's so many game mechanics coming to my mind.
I'm not sure how well it's coming across, but I can tell how genuinely excited you are.
Yeah, that's cool.
By this. So I'll show you very quickly how you set it up, but essentially it's just dragging something onto the user, and then you've got you place the instances of the things you made in the world. I had I think it's crafting material is like the base template, so then you just create copies of this. Kind of you create a new template of this, call it whatever, it could be rock, gem, rubber duck, blimp, whatever. And then in your world you have your crafting orchestrator entity, and underneath that is where you define your recipes. So here we'll see I've got a crafting recipe which basically says each time you create a new ingredient, you give it an ID. And here I'm literally saying, material 1 ID, material 2 ID gives me my crafting result material, which in this case is the box. But you can imagine that box could then become a material, which could become the thing. So as Adam says, there's a huge amount of scale here. We're doing some really cool. I see Adam's already building away at the gem.
Oh, and you can set different grips for the piece that you pick up as well, so you carry it in different ways.
Yeah.
Nice. Give it a different name.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a huge amount of scope for this. As I say, it's one of those things that I think Crayta's been really crying out for. And again, it's a really nice play on the builder base theme, because actually this is kind of the mechanism for building a base. You could imagine you take the crafting mode from Mighty, you've got the base building side of it from Iceland. You've got this crafting system, so players are having to find materials and craft them together in order to put them into some sort of resource pool that then one of the players is in the god mode that's building the builds. There's a huge amount of scope here for some really quite cool things. My brain's explodes with possibilities with this kind of crafting. I think there's a lot of love for this package, Marsha. You've done a really, really great job, and I think the simplicity of it, but also the underlying complexity of it is going to be something that's really quite powerful going forwards. I'd probably need to move on, but I see you're in the process of making a super axe.
Give me like 2 seconds.
Okay.
I think I've nearly.
This better be good.
It probably won't be. What do I want to call this ID? Okay, so I made that a template.
And then, I guess you need to update the craftable template of your recipe.
And then does that also need to be a template? Yeah. You had to make your rock a template, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I didn't really get a chance to properly explore, but Mochi's got a whole system for letting you set up like supply piles too. And there's a really great perhaps, if am I still on the forum? Yes. So if I look for the crafting package, so there's a little video on here that does a really much better job of explaining it. If we just watch this video quickly. So here's the supply pile, so you can see that Mochi basically does this, picks up 4 logs, puts it down, builds a table, puts the table down. Like as easy as that. It's mad. So got a tabletop, there's a supply pile of logs, picks up 4 of the logs, combines it with the table, builds the table, puts the table down, starts building a base. It's quite incredible, the scope and scale of this. Right.
I've got my hammer. Okay, it's not really got the right grip.
I just saw that in time, but that was cool. So you created like a gem and a log to make a hammer.
Yep.
So having never seen this package before, you've just done that in what, about 3 minutes?
Yeah. That proves it's really, really easy to use.
Yeah. So
like that.
Really, really good. work on that one at Mochi. Right, Wood Base by Nikias. So this one was quite interesting. It's a few like bits of like wooden, a few little wooden buildings and wooden. Was this one? Was this just the vehicles one? Yeah. So these like little wooden structures. So if you're kind of building like a wood themed base and you're looking for a little wooden car or kind of a wooden trebuchet or wooden catapult, this is the sort of package that'd be really quite cool to perhaps one day have a if and when hopefully further down the line we get vehicle mechanics in to like get this package in and actually start hooking these things up to be real vehicles. Go stand on the end of this catapult, Ellen.
Nice.
And then interact with the little silver bit to your right.
This bit here.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a working catapult, which is pretty cool.
This thing works as well. This which bit did I interact with? I made the lever move.
Oh, did you?
I'm not sure where I interacted exactly. I swear I saw it move.
Oh,
I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't think there's any logic around this. It was just the catapult that was mentioned to be a.
No, it moved. Guarantee it. Yeah, it moved.
Oh, it did. Oh wait, did it move when I did something with the?
Yeah, maybe.
Are they like connected somehow?
Yeah, it just moved then.
Oh, okay. It's like they're connected on the same event or something. But yeah, really fun little collection of little wooden vehicles, and as I say, any kind of wood themed base would be a pretty fun thing. It wouldn't go. Is that like a really bad pun? Boo.
Boo.
Right, go back to editor, and we're going to move on to base automation. Now this is one that has escaped me.
This is one that's escaped you said?
As in, I can't remember. No, this one. Yes, this was a really good package. So this package, I have set this little scene up myself. Again, probably about 5-10 minutes work tops. But essentially, the way it works is it's a system that allows you to very easily kind of control events across a base. So let's say you've got a huge base, you've got loads of lights, got loads of doors, loads of effects and stuff, and you want to kind of have like an event-driven system. I essentially had to write 2 little scripts of my own that would just toggle the meshes off and on, or the lights off and on. Very simple stuff. You can find lots of packages that do that for you. But what this package gives you is this terminal here, okay, and then these nodes here. So you place this terminal down, place these nodes down, okay, and then what happens is this automation kind of thing will automatically find these, I believe. And then it will fire whatever the execute order is. If you press that button on the console, it will fire whatever you've said. So in this case, we've told them to toggle the lights, or I've told them to turn off the billboard itself. And it gets the name for the option from up here. So whatever you call the entity itself, these little power cubes, that's the option that will appear in the console. So I'm going to hit F5 and have a little look. Oh, we're just getting like wood puns through the chat now. Wood.
How do we ban people again?
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah. You're right. One good package guide, and all of a sudden there's puns everywhere. Okay, so you interact with this, and you get a really cool little Hub 9000 UI that appears. And you see at the top we've got 2 buttons that have appeared, and they've dynamically appeared based on the number of those cubes I've placed. So if I place a third one and called it, self-destruct world, we'd get a third button here that said self-destruct world. So as you can see, Adam's pressing these buttons, and we can see that he's toggling the whole thing off and on, or he's toggling the lights off and on.
So those are options you added.
So I've added those. So essentially what's happening is that button goes to here and fires whatever the event or events that are linked to this. So it's kind of just leaning on the way that Crayta works, but giving you actually a really nice visual way and a nice mechanism to get a UI dynamically appearing to do it for you. So
that's really nice.
I think it's a really useful package, and I, to be honest, I can see myself using this quite a lot, because it's the sort of stuff that I'd have to write, each time I do a game. or a little showcase or something I'm building, this just kind of gives you a lot of that stuff out the box, which really works quite nicely.
Get into Canyon Miners. So you can do things around your mining area, like turn the lights on and off, or
I have to work out a Canyon Miners like something that you can do like as a group. Maybe that'd be quite cool. Like a Twitch plays Pokemon. It's like everyone, like you're all on the same machine trying to like operate a game using it. That could work quite well.
That'd be cool.
Okay, Splogs to Space Base. Oh, we're still going with these puns. Oh no, these are all jokes I just twigged. People really branching out to looking to carry the puns. I could go on and on with puns, but I should probably leave it. Oh, it's terrible. It's sapping all of my energy.
Stop it.
Is that good? Is that good? Anyway, so Splogs to Space Base. So this is one that came across a few different packages again, but I assume it's all kind of part of the same submission. We've got this really cool. I mean, it wouldn't be a Splogs submission if there wasn't some sort of funky voxel people chilling. It seems like these people have been to space and they're now rainbow people with sort of fun purple hair. Oh, I think I might have locked up. I might be about to crash.
Yeah, I don't seem to be moving.
Oh no.
Did it load in for you? I'm just seeing it in grey.
Oh no, I'm
It
in.
hasn't loaded the whole world.
I'm in, but I think it's about to die.
I'm seeing it on your screen share. That looks really cool. Not your screen share, your
My on the stream. But yeah,
on the stream. Yeah,
see.
that's what you call it. With the rainbow voxel people.
The rainbow voxel people are really, really
also
quite cool.
Like a hologram effect of loads of little orange dots. That looks really nice.
I'm just going to restart that because I think that did die a little bit. But yeah, so this package has got a really cool rocket like kind of stair lift on it. That the tower, I think you'd call it. That was quite cool to see when I kind of grabbed that out of the library. Oh, I've launched the wrong thing. That's no good. Stop. But yeah, the orange kind of glowing. I'm not really sure what that is.
People do more tree puns to fill the time.
Yeah, tree puns. Bring them back. I had a close up of this, and I must say it's extremely cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool package. It's one again that is kind of like it's a nice sort of starting point. Yeah, you can do some quite fun things once you've got it. Splogs typically crashes at my point. Yeah, sorry. To be honest, I'm surprised it's lasted this long, given how jam packed these games are with stuff. There we go. Dry case is back. We have to bring this conversation back to its roots. I feel like I need like a soundboard with like a that I can just click to play it through the stream.
I discovered GarageBand on my iPhone. Hang on. This joke's not going to be funny by the time I get round to it. Right. Silence off. Turned up. Oh no, how do I find drums? Restaurant. This will so be worth it. Okay, you ready? You ready?
Someone tell a joke.
Ready?
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
No.
Surely you can hear that. Oh no, I hit the wrong drum.
I think Discord's doing its best to cut it
Maybe
out.
It's like that's not a voice.
Yeah, it's like why would anyone want to play that down a microphone? Let's just block that out.
Yeah, probably. Okay, well it was really good and funny, but Discord ruined it for us. So.
We are joining the hub. We are on our way back in.
Which one? Are we still in number 2?
Number 2, yes. Did you get in? Are you?
I'm in Crayta. I'm just heading into number 2 now.
I'm joining the hub. Apparently. I think some of those wooden vehicles would work well with the medieval theme buildings. Yeah, I think that's true actually. There's kind of quite a lot of overlap here with a lot of these packs that I think will do a good job. Hey, here we go, connecting. Knock on wood that it holds up this time.
Oh, that was weak.
That was pretty weak. I think we're really scraping the wooden barrel.
I've just mentally dropped you a couple of places in our package ranking.
Then right, games. Oh wait, where am I? It loaded me into the wrong thing. Oh,
It's not a state saying. No,
good.
knock on wood is an anyone saying, I guess. Or at least it's in the UK as well.
Right, let's try it again.
It's still weak.
Hopefully, it's going to take me in. Yeah, knock on wood we say touch wood, right? We don't really say knock on wood.
I guess. Well,
touch wood. Same thing, but yeah, we would say touch wood. What's that hub? Oh, that's an old hub that you saw. That's nothing special.
What?
I accidentally loaded into a different thing, but it's just an old throwaway thing that people saw. The chat splintered into two: puns and not puns.
I mean, the splintered thing.
There we go.
Tenuous.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Build a base 2. We're gonna get there. 10 to 9. We're gonna get through these.
And all of the next world as well.
Say that again.
And all of the next world as well, like World 3.
We'll see. We'll do our best.
I wait for you to load into this before changing world?
Yeah, I think I'm probably about to drop in. Confused about the game cards. Yeah, that's for me. All those game cards will be nonsense, not live. That's a development thing. Yeah, we've got a third game of packages to go through. What I might start doing is just picking out a couple that I really wanted to showcase. And that's not to say that the rest aren't any good, but there's a couple that I really did want to make sure I get to. Okay, I'm in.
Okay, you go to the world.
Okay, so what have we got here? So let's go back to Spluxers, and hopefully Spluxers doesn't crash this time. How long do you plan on having the stream? We're normally wrapping up at about this time. I don't know about you, Adam. I've probably got a little bit more time.
Probably have to stop at about 9.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Cool, that's fine. Yeah, we'll do what we can in the next 10 minutes. So here we have Spluxers buildings. I say Rainbow People. It's a true sign of a Splogster game. The glass tunnel looks really quite cool. Again, lots of individual meshes, but makes for a really nice effect. And going through, and it's got like a kind of a topper at the top. I really like this sort of staircase bit. You know, the tower out the side that does a really nice job of kind of complementing the big rocket that says Splog 1 cool on the side. That was pretty good.
Splog 1.
Splog 1.
Oh, there. Nice.
Yeah, so really, really cool kind of collection of stuff there. Echo Secret Island base. Next, let's go.
Oh, I see what the orange thing was. There's like an attachment in Neon Coast of like lights around the palm tree. Books have taken just the lights.
Oh, yes. I did see that earlier, yeah. It's like the upside down lights of it. Okay, so this one is really quite cool. Again, it's kind of huge, big structures for bases that you can kind of create your own sort of little kind of rooms of. So there's this underground bit. I think this was supposed to click together in a certain way. I didn't quite follow the guide properly. But I quite like these like big triangles they've made, like with the rims. And then using those triangles have made these like cool like dome areas. which has a very sort of space vibe and feel to it. And then over here we've got the beach with kind of a pretty cool little like kind of condo hut type thing. And again, you go in, you've got like a secret kind of cool fun base hangout to hang out with your friends or to kind of build games in. So quite a few kind of really decent little kind of things there to work with, especially those triangles. I think they're really quite cool.
I love the little greenhouse bit next to the house.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Right, super hex. This one does require a little bit of tweaking. If I go to the user, let's get rid of that bit, and I need to drop in super hex for the super hex for player, super hex for user. I think there's one. Maybe it's just on the player actually. I think the world should be separate. Yep. So I think I set this one up properly. I can at least show what we're aiming for here, but it's kind of like a system that gives you a grid to build from, which is quite cool. What we need to do is we need to go into orbit cam. Do it. Right, so if we play now, I missed a step.
What do we do? There's a super hex UI script error in the console.
Okay, let's go back quickly.
I imagine a few of the packages came with their own player template, which may have confused things, potentially.
This one did work okay earlier. Then a strokes trying. I may have missed something here. But essentially what it gives you is a mechanism. So if you see this grid here, we've got the super hex system. You can drag the cursor around and it kind of registers where your cursor is within the grid of hexagons. So you can start to build a base clip together based on that sort of system. So it's like depending on where you've clicked, you could build in that specific grid. So it kind of breaks the world from being kind of total 3D space, and it kind of gives you this kind of area to build in, which does work. Cool. It does work really quite nicely. I think I must have missed something from that. As I say, all of the explanation of what you need. Oh, there was a track. I think it's the track mouse stuff. Here we go. I think this is what I'm missing. Track mouse play. Let's try this. Test. Hopefully this works. Here we go. Okay. So you can see as I'm running around, my cursor is unlocked and it's wherever this apple is. I'm like kind of drawing a block, and I think that's just like a debug thing at the minute to show where it is. So I think there's bits of functionality I haven't quite got up and running yet, but essentially what this is giving us, as I say, like the facility to sort of click on this grid, or for the game to know where the cursor is on this grid. And from there, you can start to add things like, building components, building bases, building, spawning things in where you've clicked, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think there's quite a few different uses for this, if not to just run around and color in the floor black. So quite a cool, quite a technical package that's definitely worth exploring if that's the sort of gameplay you're looking to do. That's all pre-built for you. Right. I guess as in what we'll just do quickly, because I want you to see this one, Adam, before you go. I might just carry on a little bit if you need to disparate 9, but I want to load into this one, Vincentex Fortress and Buildings, because this was one of the ones that I kind of like almost audibly gasped when I pulled it out.
I did look at the package guide for this one, and it was shared on Discord.
Let me pull this out. So this is talking about attention to detail and kind of the way that these things can clip together. This is a package that is just so very well put together, and it looks really cool. Like I can imagine so many games being built with these sort of areas sort of put in them. I mean, it looks like, you know, professional tools, as you say, like you're exploring like a Unity marketplace or something like that. I think it's just like it kind of has the very professional feel to it. A lot of these kits do, and this one certainly kind of fits that category. And again, we've got like various different shapes and sizes, and it's a really nice package as well because it gives you all the individual components, but it does give you the large examples as well. Now, what it also gives you, work out mode in there. There we are. Also, they've also included this huge like desert base plate for a map as well out the back. Which is crazy.
Cool.
Like this just comes with the template or with the package, but essentially what you've got here is a place to do kind of a large scale shooter, and you can just drop these example fortresses just into these areas, and you can build up, you know, big desert bases and do you know, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, if you could pass that on to Vincentec, that'd be really good. But I think this is, you know, really incredible level of detail. Like just the, you know, standing and running around this feels like we could be playing, you know, any sort of World War II shooter. You know, it's got that level of, it feels, you know, feels really, really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. This pack is really nice. And the other thing I loved about this was the package guide was so well presented as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the screenshots on a black background and stuff looks super professional. And makes it really clear like what the different pieces are that come with it and how you might be able to put them together. So I really like that.
Yeah, that works really well. And then this was one I wanted you to see as well just before you disappear. It's the Vilva Tower Defense. So this is like an out of the box tower defense game. You know, it's not just part of it. Like it gives you all the logic you need. So there's a couple of things again to set up with this. So we need to make sure the user has a user inventory. I think that was it. There's the player side of it as well.
Carrying key cards. I mean, whatever they were.
The banknotes.
Cards around again.
Bank cards.
Bank cards, yeah.
I think that gives us everything. Oh no, I needed to put user template there.
Oh, that's 9. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
No,
cool. Okay.
I'll watch this.
Hopefully this should work. Okay. So what we get is robots that are basically running along the bricks, and they're going to try and kill our Nutcracker. And we can place, if it's working.
I go to here and I place a. How do I place that thing?
Might have missed.
What have you done, Russ?
No, I might miss something. Okay, but either way, what this gives you out of the box is essentially a system for pathfinding robots or placing individual towers on the grid. So you can place them kind of on the area. They'll automatically start shooting at them. They give you the coins to create more. Like this is kind of a really interesting one because it's kind of a whole gameplay package, but it also very much fits like the building a base. So the players are building a base, they're building a tower defense against the robots. And then obviously you can take this package, you can play with the grid, you can make it bigger, you can style it, you can build
check,
it.
Russ.
Yeah.
Looking at the package guide for this, did you place TD player templates on the player and TD user templates on the user?
I did.
You did both of those things.
TD user templates, and TD player templates.
Oh, okay.
I seem to think they were the two things. This was definitely
Yeah,
working earlier.
That says it's what the installation instructions are.
Yeah, I'm
Press
wondering.
play left click on an empty grid space to place a tower.
I'm assuming I've probably broken something up, or is it loading the wrong?
Can I have one more quick go?
Have we got
Were you
multiple?
clicking on? Were you clicking on the brick or like on the blue?
It's on the blue. Should be on the blue.
I was clicking on the brick, so I was getting it wrong anyway. Was it in the orbit cam view before, or is that?
That's it. That's it. I think I made this mistake before. In that the orbit cam is what's messing it up.
Yeah, because the raycast is hitting the player's head there, which.
That's it. That rings well. I literally made the same mistake earlier today. What we should hopefully see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we've got a burger.
Oh yeah, now there's a burger everywhere.
So that's where you're going to place it. So we're going to place our short range turrets that I can't reach. A medium
that's cool. When you look at it, it shows you the range with a light.
Yeah, so if I look at this one, it all goes red, and I get to see that's the range of the turret. And it also kind of tells me that, you know, something is placed there, so I can't place this one. And we can see they're shooting little kind of cannonballs, taking the health down. And yeah, so an out the box kind of, as I say, this takes very little setup. You just place the thing in the world, a couple of templates on users and players, and then you're away.
Cool.
So very, very cool package. Right, is there anything else? What I might do is I might give AJ, he's got a lot to go through tomorrow. I think what I would say is go ahead and look at all of the different packages. As I say, we have taken a look through everything. We are going to be taking a look through all of them again, and we're really kind of going to do our best to judge these as best we can. So just because things weren't showcased tonight, don't worry. They have been looked at. I think we've just run out of time essentially for this. What I could maybe, would it be worth? I think if it's worth making a published version of this. No, I think I'd highly recommend head to the forum, download the guides, download the various packages. As I say, there's a huge amount there. I think I've covered everything that I kind of wanted to make sure that we kind of covered. Yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll leave the stream there. I think we are running way over what we'd normally run. So let's go here. So thank you everybody for joining in. It's been pretty fun. There's quite a lot of chat, quite a lot of people in here. So thank you everybody for tuning in. As I say, I'm just going to repeat myself again, but do make sure you head over to the package guides on the forum and make sure you download all of these packages you haven't seen or the ones you want to use and really start to throw those together. I hope that's been a useful look at some of the packages. As I say, I know it's quite daunting perhaps to go through and do this, so figured this was a good format to go ahead and do it myself and show everything to you. So do make sure you follow us on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. Head over to Discord. You can let all the creators know what you think about their amazing packages over there. It's discord.gg/Crayta. We have launched our creator program recently, so we are looking to kind of help people on board with Crayta. So if you really want to get into creation and you're not really sure where to start, then Discord is the perfect place. You fill out the form at the start, and then that will get us in touch with. We'll be able to get in touch with you. Perhaps start learning a little bit about what you want to do in Crayta. We can take it from there. So really great opportunity to learn how to make games in Crayta and some of these amazing packages that we've seen this evening. And as always, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram. So do make sure you head over to those platforms and search for Crayta Game on there. Thank you, Adam, for joining in. So it's been pretty nice to have someone to talk to. So I'm not just rabbiting to myself, although I pretty much did that anyway. So.
Are you just saying I wasn't very talkative?
No.
No, thank you for having me on. It was really interesting to see all these, and I look forward to helping out in trying to judge them, which seems like a bit of an impossible task because they're all really good.
Yes, yeah, I think it's going to be a really difficult one to sort of distinguish kind of a best order of, but that's the job we've got. So do stay tuned. Hopefully, maybe this week we'll have that together. I think we're aiming to have the winners together this week, but it may slip to next week. We'll just have to let you know. What you need to do is make sure you tune in tomorrow night as AJ is going to be back looking through all the showcases that people made. So a lot of these packages weren't just made. People also found the time somehow to make these amazing showcases. So we really want to go ahead and have a look at some of those as well. So do make sure you tune in same time, same channels tomorrow evening with AJ. In the meantime, I'm going to go get a drink and rest my voice. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.